Hello and welcome back to Quicks14Blog. We're continuing our add-on special, part 9, going through Gatherer and GatherMate. If you use Auctioneer, you've probably heard of Gatherer. Gatherer is a very useful add-on for people who have professions, Gatherer professions, specifically mining and mining, herbalism, things of that nature. Gatherer fully supports them. It's a very common add-on. A lot of people have it. And it's very easy to use. All you gotta really do is download it, have it on there. If you have the Auctioneer suite, you probably have it as well. If not, you can get it very easily, and it kind of integrates itself with it. It covers, skin, everything pretty much when it comes to gathering, mining, herbalism, and it also tracks treasure chests. And what it does basically is every time you mine something or pick up an herb or find a treasure chest, it's going to mark it on your map and also on your mini map if you have that on as well, and you'll be able to see it across your characters. There's also a sharing option, so it'll actually share it with, if you decide to do that. It'll also share that information with other people in your guild, and you might also receive other spots information from your guild, for example. It's a very useful add-on. Very useful add-on. And let me show you to you more in detail. Those were all the different options, including the HUD. We're going to look at the HUD more in detail. But as you can see here, there is a database that you can download, which is based off Wowhead, and it's marking all the known spots on your map for everything, mining, herbalism, and the treasure chest, and you can see it all on the map. You can also see it listed here in your actual list, and also its source, its location, its distance, everything. So the other little, you can also see them on your minimap and by distance. And then there's also a HUD option. This HUD option, my wife likes it a lot actually, and uses it pretty thoroughly. Is as follows. If you turn it on, it actually brings up a little heads-up display of these, the mining and all this stuff, and where the nodes are based on your position. So it kind of makes it easier for you to see where they are and how to get to them, as you can see. Very useful. There's also another useful option that you can do for your HUD. It's called heat. So basically, if it's keeping track of how often you go to these places to farm them. So let's say you have an 80 and you farm quite a bit. If you turned heat on and you go to these parts, you can see which nodes are respawning faster than others. So it'll make it more easier and useful for you to go back to those same spots and mine them. Very nice option. You can also see when you go into combat here, it automatically fades and disappears while you're in combat. So you can have this up all the time, and if you're in combat and stuff, it's not going to bother you at all. Very useful add-on. I recommend it highly. It's very clean. It's very smooth. It's very well organized. It's just a wonderful add-on. I don't know how. I couldn't remember half of where these things are if I didn't have this on. It's unbelievably useful when you're hunting for ore or herbs or even treasure chests. Another wonderful add-on which does something very similar is also GatherMate, and we're going to go over that here in a second. And I use both of them. You see, that's where you actually import your thing. That's a separate add-on, so you're going to have to search for that. It's called Gatherer Database. That's also on the same download sites that you're going to find Gatherer. You can also save different profiles and everything. It's going to show the map. There's also a little button on the map that'll automatically hide or show your ore. So if you need to hide it for whatever reason, you can. If you want to show them, you can as well. Like I said before, there is another wonderful little add-on called GatherMate. Now, GatherMate does pretty much the same thing Gatherer does, with a few additions. It also covers fishing pools, gas pools as well, in addition to mining, herbalism, and treasure. I use both. I use Gatherer to track my herbs, my treasure, and my mining, and I use GatherMate to track my fishing and gas pockets for those of engineers. Now, It is very similar in the way it works. It doesn't have a HUD like Gatherer does, but it has quite a few options here that are very important. It also has an import data. Again, it also has its own database that you can get a hold of, as well as a separate add-on in the same places that you download GatherMate. Very, very useful. I've just got it set up to bring in, fishing and gas clouds. It's very useful, especially if you're after fishing pools in Northrend, to try to get your sea turtle as often as possible. You can just import those in, and you'll be able to see them all straight away. It also has a sharing option for other people using GatherMate, and of course a whole FAQ to help you with. So let's go ahead and take a look at it here, and let's look at our actual fishing spots. As you can see, it's got all these fishing spots marked on the map for me, ready to go. Now I know where all this is to fish, all these schools, and if you find any more, it'll automatically add it. Very, very handy. If anyone's familiar with Gatherer, they know that there used to be an add-on, a plugin that used to track fishing pools. Well, that got discontinued, and they started this mod, and it's by the same people who made that plugin. So it's very, very nice. You can use either or explicitly. If you just want to use GatherMate, you like it better, by all means you can use it. If you just like Gatherer, you can use it. If you don't care about fishing spots or anything like that in nature, I like using both of them. They work really well for me. So that's pretty much all for Gatherer and GatherMate. Of course, you can download them in the car. Coming up next, OmniCC Atlas Loot and the most asked about add-on, Epic Music Player.